Now, top story, President Donald Trump has ruled out sending U.S. troops to Ukraine to enforce a potential peace deal with Vladimir Putin. However, he did say that Washington may be willing to provide air support to Ukraine. Trump signaled that U.S. air support and European ground troops could form part of security guarantees for Kyiv. Now, talking to Fox News, U.S. President revealed that European allies are ready to put their soldiers on the ground to back Ukraine's security. Trump claimed that France, Germany, and the UK wants to have boots on the ground, adding that U.S. would be willing to help them with things, especially by air. Now, talking about America's unmatched dominance in the skies, Trump said nobody has what we have. However, the U.S. president made one clear declaration: no U.S. troops on the ground. Trump told Fox News, "You have my assurance, and I'm president." The White House also underscored Trump's assurances.
You made clear no U.S. boots on the ground. Is the president considering U.S. boots in the air as a form of a security guarantee?
Look, that was something the president mentioned on his interview this morning. It is an option and a possibility. I won't certainly rule out anything as far as military options that the president has at his disposal. I'll let him do that. I can tell you he's definitively ruled out boots on the ground.
Top U.S. and European military officers met in Washington. As per American defense official, top U.S. military officer General Dan Kane held talks with European military chiefs to discuss best options for a potential Ukraine peace deal. Kane is also expected to take part in a virtual meeting of military chiefs from NATO's 32 member countries later. Trump also discussed a potential bilateral between Russian leader Putin and Ukraine's Zelensky. President Trump said he thought it would be better if Zelensky and Putin meet without him.
A lot of good talks. Thank you very much.
He then added that if necessary, he would probably be able to get the deal closed.
Thank you very much for your.
Now, the Kremlin has not yet said whether Putin has signed off on Trump's push to arrange direct talks, but the White House insisted that Putin has promised Trump to have a direct meeting with Zelensky.
Well, look, the president has spoken to both leaders about this, and both leaders have expressed a willingness to sit down with each other. And so our national security team will help both countries do that.
French President Emmanuel Macron has now pitched Switzerland as a neutral ground for talks. Switzerland has said it won't arrest Putin if he attends. Now, another potential site for a follow-up three-way summit, including Trump, is Budapest. According to White House official, Trump has dialed Hungary's Viktor Orban regarding Ukraine's talks with the European Union about joining the bloc. Now, sources close to the discussion say that Russia is pushing for its own capital to host a Zelensky-Putin summit. However, reports suggest that Zelensky has turned down President Putin's proposal. Meanwhile, Russia has warned that any solution must also protect its own security interests and has ruled out Ukraine joining NATO. It also suggested that any peace talks should begin at expert level and progress gradually.
Yes, that is one of its results. Territorial changes are often an essential component of conflict resolution. There are many such examples.
Well, for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tirani sent us this report. Take a listen.
President Trump said that he believes that it's better for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin to first hold a bilateral meeting without him after what he called a, quote, very successful discussion with Zelensky. Trump added during a Tuesday night interview that he could step in later to, quote, get it closed if needed. The White House confirmed plans for a Zelensky-Putin meeting are underway, while the Kremlin stopped short of ruling it out. On security, President Trump ruled out sending U.S. ground troops to Ukraine, but said that Washington is prepared to back a European reassurance force with air power, intelligence, as well as logistics. That could include American cargo planes, surveillance drones, and air defense systems supporting European troops led by the UK and France. These negotiations highlight a central question: where Europe ends and Russia begins, a centuries-old fault line now being tested in the search for peace. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.